Welcome to the show, everybody. My name is Mark Farzetta. This right here is the Farzi Show, presented by MyBookie, mybookie.ag. Hold, please. There we go. That should be better. What's going on? Nice to see you. We got so much to get into when it comes to this Eagles-Giants matchup. First and foremost, the words have been uttered by both franchises, and I absolutely love this. Eagles-Giants, a rivalry week in the NFL. You finally have, now 5 games into the season for your Philadelphia Eagles, a divisional opponent. This is where things get serious, and I couldn't be more excited about it because you got Dexter Lawrence and the Giants not only talking about facing Cam Jurgens for the first time as opposed to Jason Kelsey, but also you got A.J. Brown out there talking to Saquon Barkley about how he has to, quote, let the beast out. A.J. referring to when he went up against Tennessee Titans last year and said, not that big a deal. And then after the game, it was like, oh, it's a big deal. Now Saquon Barkley getting that opportunity against the New York Giants. Giants have been struggling considerably more than the Philadelphia Eagles, unfortunately, for them going into this game. Old Danny Dimes, 4 interceptions on the season. Same as, unfortunately, Jalen Hurts. Turnover battle when it comes to this Philadelphia Eagles team and the New York Giants, very similar. Now, the Giants are -2 in the turnover battle. The Eagles are +6, or excuse me, -6, excuse me. Both teams have turned the football over 8 times this year. That's going to be a very interesting thing. And when I was thinking about this, and we'll go through my key matchups in this game, we'll talk about 5 things that I'm really going to be looking at in this game. One thing that I always consider outside the box, but I know it's very much inside the box, is coaching. Because I look at the Eagles and I go, oh, look, a more talented team than the Giants. You should win this game. I should not be concerned. And then I think about the coaching aspect of it and how I haven't seen the Eagles game planning, coaching, really. I haven't seen that come into fruition. And I've been saying that all week. And then I hear on ESPN our old friend Dan Orlovsky talking about how the Eagles are the the least prepared team in the NFL. I believe that was the phraseology that Dan Orlovsky used on Get Up yesterday. The most unprepared team in the NFL. I've been telling you, really even dating back to last week, about how if you don't score in the first quarter, that shows that all the game planning you've done is wrong. So I prepared for the test. You show up for the test, and then all of a sudden it's like, whoa. American history test. I thought this was math. What happened? Oh, I got my days confused. No, you prepared poorly is what happened. That's what the Eagles have done, unfortunately, all year long, and that's what they did at the end of last season as well. They did not prepare properly, and all their game plan out the window. The Eagles not being able to start fast is a direct reflection on coaching, game planning, play calling. If Nick Sirianni really is in on all this stuff going on with the offense, it looks eerily similar to what we saw at the end of last year. And unfortunately, the NFL has cracked the code on whatever it is the Eagles want to do, whatever it is Nick Sirianni wants to do, or maybe what Jalen Hurts wants to do, and then they just keep him in that tight box so he can't do too much. The Giants have certainly figured that out. They figured it out at the end of last year, of course, with Wink Martindale. We'll see if they're able to do it again this time around. But it is certainly, without question, a concern. How much will the Eagles be able to overcome poor preparation to win another football game? Because ultimately, that's what it's come down to. They got 3 wins on the season, and you haven't felt good about the way they've started any one of them. Looking at that whole thing, the way the Eagles are coached, how they're not able to jump out of the gate, and hopefully they do it against the Giants. Looking at that whole thing, and then also, I always try to pay attention to the line. I try not to make it the whole thing, but it is something. Like last week, they were favored by 8.5 points at kickoff over the Browns. They did not cover that, unfortunately. This week, they're only favored by 3.5 points on Parx Casino, 3 points, I think, elsewhere. The Eagles favored on the road, which I know you could easily read into and say on the road, that's like 6 points, 6.5 points they're favored by. Fine. But that's still a tight game. And this is a Giants team that faced the Commanders and played a tight game. This is a Giants team that faced the Cowboys, still another divisional opponent, and they don't look so good either. But they played them in a tight game. overall, looking at this game from afar, my initial reaction after the Browns win was, okay, maybe this was the get-right game. Seth Joyner talked about it on the post-game show about how this was a type of game where you have baby steps. And then next week against the Giants, although a tough divisional opponent, never gets said an easy divisional opponent, but a tough divisional opponent going up against the New York Giants. These games are always close, blah, 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 blah. That should be the giant leap forward. That should be the adult step forward, hopefully, at least for this Philadelphia Eagles team. I was thinking, okay, 2 touchdowns. They win this game by 2 touchdowns. That was my knee-jerk reaction after they beat the Browns. Not because the Browns win was anything spectacular, but they won the game. Their offense came up clutch with a couple of plays, and that's what they needed to beat the Browns, and their defense was great. Then you start factoring in coaching and how I have zero confidence that Nick Sirianni and whatever it is, I used to wonder what Nick Sirianni does. Now I wonder what Kellen Moore does. I know he calls the majority of the plays, but now I have, unfortunately, this horrible thought that Nick Sirianni just gives him this kind of bubble to stay within and be like, all right, here's what we're doing. And maybe that is based off the quarterback like Kurt Warner was assuming earlier in the week. I certainly hope not. I would like to see a lot more from Jalen Hurts as well, other than just, oh, please don't turn the football over. If that's all you're hoping for from your quarterback ain't that good. So let's hope that's not the case. Jalen Hurts has an opportunity to prove it with his healthy roster, with the exception of Jordan Mailata being out. And we'll get to that conversation also. But for me, if it wasn't for coaching, I would feel like the Eagles are going to win this game by 2 touchdowns. Because of coaching, yeah, the Eagles should still win, right? I do have them winning this game. I'll get to that spoiler right now. I have them winning, but the buzzword I've been looking at that I've caught a lot from writers, national media, whatever it is, you should feel confident that the Eagles are going to win this game, but I'm not confident the Eagles are going to win. I think they'll win, but I wouldn't say I'm like super confident. You know what I mean? I'm at a point where they'll win, but it'll be close. And when you combine poor coaching with a tendency to turn the ball over, and look, I'm hoping that Jalen Hurts builds off what he did last week, his first clean game in a year, didn't put the pigskin on the turf. The fumble that occurred, the bad snap was actually charged to Cam Jurgens. It wasn't a charge to fumble to Jalen Hurts. A clean game for him. Clean game. Keep it going. Build off it. Let's get 2 in a row when it comes to Jalen Hurts. We'll get into that conversation. I mentioned the war of words that's going on right now between Dexter Lawrence and, A.J. Brown was more so in support of his own teammate. Dexter Lawrence also talked about the reception that Saquon Barkley should be expecting from the Giants faithful. It's not positive. We'll put it to you like that. And also, what's one of the things that the Eagles could do differently to actually start fast? Something they haven't been able to do all season long. That's what we got for you. In the meantime, make sure you hit like and subscribe on the Farzy Show YouTube channel. Make sure you hit like and subscribe on the Jacob Media YouTube channel. Make sure you hit like and subscribe on the Seth Joyner Show YouTube channel as well for your pre- and post-game needs on game day. And also, make sure you like and subscribe to the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, where yours truly, starting next week, will be back on the grind of postcasts after a disappointing Phillies season. We now jump on the 76ers and start doing postcasts for them on the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. So let's get into it. Here's 5 things I'm going to be looking at when it comes to this Eagles-Giants matchup. Eagles and Giants coming into this game. Giants at 2-4, Eagles at 3-2. Number 1, Malik Neighbors. He's pretty good at football. And he's torched the NFC East already. In 2 games, Cowboys and the Washington Commanders, he's gone off. He's had all good games so far. He's had great games against the NFC East. In the 4 games that he's played as a pro, he's got 242 yards against the NFC East, against the Giants, against the Cowboys, and against the Commanders. 242 yards in those games. And the other ones, like I said, he's also had good games, but he's gone off in these 2 against the division rivals. 144 yards against non-divisional opponents. So the man has teed off. Now he's going to be facing, and this is what I'm really going to be focused on, Malik Neighbors going up against Quentin Mitchell Darius Slay, supposed to play in this game. He was day-to-day with the knee injury after re-aggravating it. Now he's going to be back in this game. Cooper DeJean, if there's a switch off and you all of a sudden get Malik Neighbors on Cooper DeJean and be looking at that. Keely Ringo, if he gets more run in this game than anything. Really, it's Malik Neighbors against the Eagles secondary. That's what it comes down to. The kid is a stud. He's an absolute stud. He cleared concussion protocol. He's going to be up for this game. Concussions are something the NFL really doesn't mess around with anymore, so I'm going to assume that he's going to be on the field at 100%. It's going to be one hell of a show. 6 overall pick versus Quenyon Mitchell, a guy that was projected to go in the top 15 at worst. And the Eagles were able to get him at, 22? That's pretty damn amazing. This is going to be a great matchup. Can't wait to see how this plays out. Quenyon Mitchell, this entire season, his entire rookie campaign to this point, has been every ounce of the truth, as Seth Joyner referred to him. He has been fantastic. This is going to be a great test for him. He draws Neighbors. This is going to be a really interesting game. Look forward to see how that battle goes. And to this point, Quenyon Mitchell has absolutely shown that he is every bit worthy of a first-round draft pick and every bit worthy, really, and maybe any other draft. Talking about a guy that would go in the top 15, if not the top 10. Pretty impressive, pretty remarkable. And the game that sticks out to me with him so far is the rare occurrence that he actually drawed Mike Evans in that Tampa Bay game. He shut him down. Absolutely shut him down. And the swagger that went along with it, I'm here for it every step of the way. It is a joy. So this is going to be a great matchup between these two rookies battling it out in the occurrence that they draw each other in this game, which I think is bound to happen. You're talking about him going up against this NFC East rival. Hopefully the Eagles, they cut off his success against the division. Next thing I'm going to be looking up is Dexter Lawrence. Dexter Lawrence coming off a hip injury. We'll let you hear from him in a second, but he was asked about the hip injury that has kept him somewhat limited during the week. And he was like, what are you talking about? Reporter's like, hey, your hip's hurting, right? You're not, how close to 100% are you? He's like, I'm good. I'm going, man. I'm playing. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Dexter Lawrence is in the game. Dexter Lawrence, this is what's interesting. He's been in the league 6 years. He's his career high in sacks is 7.5 sacks for Dexter Lawrence. He's got 7 already, for crying out loud, through 6 games. So I'm going to go ahead and assume that he's going to go out there and he's going to do his thing. New defense coordinator Sean Bowen has been using him wonderfully and kind of talk about unleashing the beast. He has been allowing Dexter Lawrence to unleash the beast, and Dexter Lawrence has certainly had his fill over the years when it comes to getting sacks, getting after the quarterback, and certainly having some success against Philadelphia Eagles as well. When it comes to this particular matchup, I mentioned it already, but Cam Jurgens is getting his first taste of this kind of battle from the center position. There's some familiarity last year, at least having to block him occasionally, but certainly not at the rate that Jason Kelce had to step up and block Dexter Lawrence. Now he's going to have to step up and do that in this matchup. So I look forward to seeing how this plays out. There's going to be talking about tests for young guys. Quenyon Mitchell, of course, getting tested against a fellow rookie. Now Cam Jurgens is going to get tested against a veteran in Dexter Lawrence. Look forward to seeing how that one plays out for the Eagles. This one just has to do, the next 3 really just have to do with what you want to see from the Philadelphia Eagles in this game. Fred Johnson coming in to play left tackle for Jordan Mailata is one of the big talking points going into this game. The interesting thing about this is instead of Mekhi Becton going out there to play at the tackle position, side note, love that Becton was ripping the field there at MetLife Stadium. Pretty funny as a Jet having to play there. The other thing is Fred Johnson coming out to play against New Orleans Saints. Came in for Lane Johnson. And with Lane Johnson on the sideline, and Mekhi Becton banged up as well, you had Tyler Steen and you had Fred Johnson out there as 2/5 of your offensive line. Not ideal. But somehow, magically, in that fourth quarter, no A.J. Brown as well, no Devontae Smith, those 2 guys on the Eagles' offensive line helped engineer a stellar fourth quarter for your Eagles to come back and beat the New Orleans Saints and ice that game. Go do it again on the road, which factors into this also, just like that Saints game. Go do it again against the Giants. Go protect the blind side of Jalen Hurts. The only thing I am truly concerned about, I don't want Jalen Hurts with this being in his mind. I hope that he's at a point where he's totally trusting who's going to be his left tackle and protecting his blind side in this game today, because Jordan Mailata has obviously emerged as one of the best left tackles in the NFL. And all of a sudden that guy's gone. You don't want that in the back of your head of your quarterback and then expediting the process that he has back there. He needs all the time he can. 3 seconds to him can't feel like 1 second. You know what I mean? I don't want that speeding up the clock in his head before he gets rid of the football. I want him calm. I want Fred Johnson to be able to go out there and earn the trust early from Jalen Hurts. And maybe, just maybe, the Eagles will do this next thing that I'm hoping they do. Run, get this, hold on, wait for it. Run the football. Lane Johnson being out is obviously a huge thing. Against the Saints, it was a huge thing. Fred Johnson came in and handled that, but that's all in front of Jalen Hurts. We don't want Jalen Hurts to have to make erratic decisions. It would help everyone if the Eagles ran the football with Saquon Barkley, who, in case you missed it, now plays for them and not the New York Giants. Run the football with one of the best running backs in the league behind still a pretty damn good offensive line, and let Fred Johnson settle in. And, oh, yeah, odds are you're going to have a lot of success against the Giants running the football. Overall on the year, the Giants are allowing 5.2 yards per attempt. The Giants against running backs in particular are allowing 4.9 yards per attempt. Saquon Barkley this year is running for 5.3 yards per attempt. Go do that. And then here's the crazy thing. This is so nuts, right? If you hand the ball to him to open the game and he gets you 5 yards, maybe give him the ball again and maybe he'll get you another 5. Just, Jalen Hurts said this week when he was asked about slow starts, it's like, no, it's all about getting that first down. It's all about getting that first down. Let's get that first down. It's a good way to do that. If you hand the ball to Saquon Barkley twice, on average, he's going to get 10 yards twice. On average, he's got your first down waiting for you. You want to start fast? Let's get that first down. Let's establish the run. And then once it's established, do it a little bit more. And then maybe you can open up things downfield even more for A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith or Grant Calcaterra. Now, within this fourth thing that I'm talking about here with the run game, there is a huge concern that I have when it comes to no Dallas Goedert. Dallas Goedert is one of, if not the best blocking tight ends in the NFL. And he has been that for a long time. I hate that Dallas Goedert is, again, injured because injuries have taken him out of all Pro Bowl consideration and top 3, top 4, maybe top 5 tight ends in the NFL. And he's injured again. With him being out, I'm not concerned about the passing game. I think the Eagles are still going to be just fine and dandy, and Grant Calcaterra certainly showed you that he can still catch the football and run with it. It's going to be up to him, Jack Stahl, to be able to block in the run game because that's going to be essential in this game to establish any type of rhythm, any type of momentum, and also give Saquon Barkley the opportunity to go and eat against his former team, which he's going to want to do. Even if this wasn't his former team, this is still a perfect example of a game the Eagles should be running the ball in. And because of coaching, I am terrified that Nick Sirianni is going to drag Kellen Moore into this idea of, okay, they know we're going to run they're thinking that we're thinking that we're going to run the ball. And if they think that, we have to outthink them and make sure that we don't run the ball because they're going to be so expected to run that we're going to pass it and we're going to outthink them. I don't know where I am. That's where coaching bothers the hell out of me. Give the ball to Saquon, let him do his thing. Give him all the glory you could possibly give Saquon Barkley in his return to the Meadowlands. That's what I want to see to start things off. If you want to start fast, how about you just put the ball in the hands of Saquon Barkley and help out your offensive line that is missing their left tackle in Jordan Mailata. Let's do that. That sounds like a great idea. Now, here's the other thing. Again, coaching. The Eagles have missed Lane Johnson for some time, a game and a half even, right? Did they run the ball down the throat of anyone? Nope, unfortunately. They had some big runs there, some big plays with Saquon against the Saints team. Yeah, but that's pretty much it. Pretty much it. And then finally, this is for all the marbles. This will win or lose the game. Jalen Hurts plays a clean game. That's what I need to say. Again, and I hate that it's the baseline, but Jalen Hurts playing a clean game will be all the difference in the world. I have more confidence in him playing a clean game than I do in the Eagles coaching being 100% prepared for this game. Or fair 90% prepared for this game. Create him on a curve, I guess. Last week, it was 354 days since the last time he played a clean game. Let's make it the new norm. Let's make it think like, oh wow, he turned the football over. That doesn't happen anymore. To give you the numbers again for those just joining us, the Eagles and the Giants have 8 turnovers this season. Both teams have turned the football over 8 times. The Eagles, though, however, are a -6 in turnover differential, while the Giants are -2. Both teams, I'm sure. Both defenses, I'm sure. Both Shane Bowen's Giants defense and both Vic Fangio's Eagles defense are looking at this game for an opportunity to take the football away. And Nick Sirianni, 2 days ago, when he addressed the media, he was wearing a Reed Blankenship shirt featuring Reed Blankenship after he intercepted Derek Carr against the New Orleans Saints. I think turnovers are going to be everything in this game. And you have 2 quarterbacks, and I hate to admit this because one of the things I always rip about Danny Dimes is the interception factor, the turnover factor, the lack of smarts factor, right? And Jalen Hurts has been worse. Been worse than anybody in football. It's coming off one game where he didn't do it, and it was against a pretty terrible Cleveland Browns team. Just don't turn the football over. Be smart with the ball. Hopefully he doesn't have that accelerated clock in his head without Jordan Mailata protecting his blind side. Hopefully the Eagles coaching staff puts him in a good position to make plays and really puts Saquon Barkley in a phenomenal position to make plays and take the ball out of Jalen Hurts' hands at times where he doesn't have to feel like he has to play hero ball, because that's obviously when he makes a lot of the mistakes. Build off this last game. Build off this last clean game. Keep the ball moving forward, Jalen. That's what I want to see. As far as what could be helping this Eagles team, Lane Johnson, I played this for you guys yesterday. I played it for you again. Lane Johnson yesterday on what could help the slow starts for this Eagles offense.
Yeah, I think it's, you can obviously have a game plan, but, a lot of stuff changes. When you get to the game, they're going to show you.
Is that going off weird? Let's try one more time.
Yeah.
Years ago, before the Tennessee game, you spent.
I don't know why that's happening. That's very off-putting. 1. All right. Little mic check there. I don't know what's going on. Do I have to paraphrase? Will I have to paraphrase?
Years ago, before the Tennessee game, you spent the weeks.
Let me know in the chat if you guys are getting like a weird thing right there. Audio is bad. Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, on me? Audio is bad? Mic is odd? Let me try that one more time. That should be good to go. Is that weird? Getting static on your voice? Your audio is rough? So, like, oh, come on. All right. Why is that weird? That's going to be weird. Hey, talk amongst yourselves. I'll give you a topic. Do the Giants suck that bad? Back in a second. The first thing I see is the Giants suck more than your audio. Thank you. All right, let me know if that's better, folks. Been an Eagles fan for 25 years. Says, I really hope Barkley runs all over them, but I am worried about Jalen. Well, that's good. Not for anybody. Nope, still a robot. I don't know why the hell that's happening.
Yeah.
Jiminy Christmas. I don't know what's going on with this stuff. I've done all the things. Unplugging the audio. Reset that. All right, let me flip this back over here, see what happens. Is that it? Live performance. Check. Why do I feel like it's going to be weird? Darn it. All right, I'll paraphrase. AJ audio is good, really? Let me clear my throat. Lane clip was clear. Okay. Am I getting thumbs up now? Golden now. All right, look at this. We're doing things. Okay. Lane Johnson. All right, what time of the show was that? 26 to 23 to 26? Yeah, edit that out. For the people on the podcast, I think I just saved you some time. Anyway, all right, Lane Johnson.
I think that's, you can obviously have a game plan, but, a lot of stuff changes. When you get to the game, they're going to show you looks that you haven't practiced. And so, I think the adjustments on the sideline, just as important, maybe more important than what game plan you have. So, it's definitely something we're addressing. I think we do some good stuff when we're running tempo and running our, hurry up offense. So, all things considered, we're going to push the envelope and try to get that fast start this week and make it more sense of urgency for us. So that's really it.
There we go. All right. I think I just checked the audio during that clip too. All right. So, hey, let's do a thing. Where they go up tempo. Maybe we'll see that against the Giants. Next thing I have for you, A.J. Brown addressed the media yesterday. Now, last year he faced the Tennessee Titans. Said before the game, I'll let Zach. I included the question with Zach Berman, and he does a great job asking the question. A.J. Brown does an even better job answering the question about playing your former team.
Before the Tennessee game, you spent the week saying it wasn't a big deal. Then after the game, you said it was a big deal. How do you think kind of Saquon is processing this week, given that it's a comparable situation?
I think he's handling it the best way he can. Of course, I think the beast will probably be let out on Sunday, but he's doing a great job keeping it one day at a time, and he's just doing what he regularly does, and just coming to work, doing the little things, and so.
How hard is it to treat that kind of week like any other week?
It's not hard. If you can just control your emotions through the week, because you don't play anybody through the week. You practice, and you got to continue to get better, and you not try to let it get bigger than what it is, because ultimately it comes down to making plays on Sunday, and you have to treat it like it's any other week. So.
For reference, that game was 2 years ago that he played against Tennessee. 8 catches, 119 yards, 2 touchdowns. And that was hosting the Tennessee Titans. So he hasn't gone back to Tennessee yet, but he played against Tennessee, and he whooped him. He whooped him good. The Eagles, if you remember, the Eagles used to be amazing in football, and they would just have 10-1 starts left and right, and it was pretty fantastic. This was an example. One of the games, of course, 2022, they came out and they just dominated. 10-1 back-to-back seasons. Remember that? Remember when you felt like the Eagles were always prepared, and then it felt like all of a sudden, like they were Boy Scouts, always prepared, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they stopped being prepared. Let's hope that starts up again, where they're prepared for stuff. 8 catches on 10 targets, 119 yards, 2 touchdowns, and did have a 40-yard reception in that game. Not too shabby. Finally, last thing, let's go behind enemy lines here. Dexter Lawrence addressing the media. During his media session yesterday, he uttered this phrase, "Sunday is war." Talks about how he wants to try to stop Saquon Barkley. Talks about how Saquon Barkley is going to be received by Giants fans at MetLife Stadium. And uttered the words, "Sunday is war."
I think we got to stop Saquon from getting going. We got to clog the holes. We got to get a lot of guys on him, a lot of bodies on him. So he's good at finding the second lane, third lane type of thing. So we got to stop his feet before he gets going, because then he's explosive. Elite back. Like we just got to stop. We got to stop his feet. We got to beat the guys in front of us on the O line and make sure Saquon don't get started.
What do you think the reception will be for him on Sunday from the 80,000 non-players?
No telling.
What would you like to see it be?
Honestly, I think he did a lot of good for this organization. But we got some tough fans, and they're gonna bring them in however they feel is right by them. I appreciate what he did for this organization and who he was as a teammate and a person to me, most importantly. But Sunday is war, and he knows that.
Sunday is war, and he knows that. I love these matchups. The Eagles-Giants, obviously. Eagles-Cowboys is a whole nother level. It's not really comparable, but Eagles-Giants, when you talk to a lot of the players have it drilled in their heads since they get to Philadelphia. And I've heard stories from Brian Dawkins, Hugh Douglas, Trey Thomas, Lito Shepherd, Sheldon Brown, just about how you arrive in Philadelphia after the draft or a trade or free agency. And from the time you get off, or maybe even get on you're still on the flight and you're sitting next to an Eagles fan or whatever the case might be, they let you know immediately about what it means to beat the Dallas Cowboys. But for a lot of players, what ends up developing is this down the street mentality of, the Giants are just right up there. Like they're right there. The geographical location plays into it for them. They might see these guys a little bit more often than they see the Dallas Cowboys. Not in terms of playing, but just in terms of being in the area. It builds. Go to the same places. If they stick around their teams in the offseason, they might be hanging out at the same places. Little rivalry builds. It's interesting to see how that plays out amongst the pros. But for me, I love this rivalry. And for a long time, to me, this was a bigger rivalry than even the Cowboys, just for me personally. And I look at this stage that the Eagles get to be on. And I know it's North Jersey. We all know it's the New York market. I know it's just a 1:00 game. It's not in prime time, whatever. But damn, this is going to be a very fun game. And I think it's going to be fun because the Eagles are going to come out on top and they're going to win it. I don't think Jalen Hurts is going to continue the turnover problems. I'm very interested to see if Shane Bowen has cracked the code that Wink Martindale did. And even if he did, how much Jalen Hurts' conversation with Wink Martindale leading into the Tampa Bay Buccaneers playoff game last year is going to help Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts has been great against the blitz this year, for the most part. Did he learn something from Wink Martindale? Is he going to be able to use that against a guy in Shane Bowen that came up from Tennessee as the defensive coordinator, coached under Mike Vrabel, and is now going to be coming in to take over, or has come in to take over for Wink Martindale to take over that Giants defense. Very curious to see how all that plays out. To be honest with you, I don't like the comparison to the war thing. I know some people, it does bother me, but I know what he means. It's going to be a battle. Anything can be a battle. This is going to be a battle. I think the key to this is don't turn the football over and give the ball to Saquon Barkley. I think that's the key. Now, that's not to exclude A.J. Brown from the game plan by any means. That's not to exclude Devontae Smith. But I think a big part of this is going to come down to not turning the football over and how well you run the football against one of the worst run defenses in the NFL, in the New York Giants. Handle that, you win this game. There's other things I look forward to. Sure, I mentioned Quenya Mitchell, just to recap real quick for those that couldn't hear me due to terrible audio. Neighbors versus Mitchell, or Slay. Dexter Lawrence versus Cam Jurgens. Fred Johnson in for Jordan Mailata, just how he handles that overall. Saquon being able to run the football and Jalen Hurts not turning the football over. And number one, right over top of all this, of course, is just coaching. If I had any ounce of confidence in the Eagles coaching, I would feel like this team, that the Eagles were going to win this game by 2 touchdowns. But I don't. The other thing is it has far beyond, there's no analytics for this. There's no stats. There's nothing like that. It's just W's and L's. That's all it is. And when I think about this Eagles team, I think about what can be done as far as the rallying cry for this team. And I look back on that flower power speech on how everybody looked at Nick Sirianni, myself included, and said, you got to fire this guy. This guy sucks. Talking about daisies and tulips with a bunch of NFL players. That's what he's going to do to rally this team. I'm out. Well, everyone in that Eagles locker room took it a totally different way. Now, I don't know if the speech hit and everyone in the locker room went, what is this guy talking about here? Really? You know, other things have roots and other things grow. Oak trees, for instance. But we're talking about daisies? Okay. I don't know if it fell on the room like that. And then afterwards, the locker room heard all the reaction. Went, everybody thinks we suck now. We're going to win. Let's do it. You know, the us against the world mentality. Well, that whole speech came out after the Vegas game, the game against the Raiders. And after that game, if you remember, Fletcher Cox called out Jonathan Gannon. He was like, it's not my job to go talk to, like, to run the defense, that kind of thing. Those two apparently had to come to Jesus moment after that game. They were 2-5 after that game. Then they went on and they beat the Lions. They lost to the the Chargers after that. And then they ended up hitting a little bit of a rally here. They won 3 of 4. Then they went on to win 4 of 6. And then they went on to win 4 in a row against the Jets, the Commanders, the Giants, and the Commanders again, before getting blown out in the season finale, 51-26 against the Dallas Cowboys, who had something to play for in that game. That's what I'm going to be looking at. Whether or not there's no stats, no numbers, whatever, about whether or not everyone talking about firing Nick Sirianni will rally this team. Now, look, I've said this before. I don't like Nick Sirianni. I'd have him fired. I would have fired him last year. I would have fired him at the bye week. I would have fired him after the whole thing with the fans. For me, I don't want him to be the head coach of the team. But for whatever reason, this team likes Nick Sirianni. Now, you can say it's because he's soft and he doesn't hold them accountable and they can do whatever they want. That could certainly be it. But for whatever reason, after that flower power speech a few years ago, they rallied around. I think this could be another situation where that happens. I'm not guaranteeing it. I'm not predicting it. I'm just saying that this could be a situation where now everybody's out on the head coach, therefore out on the team. And now this Eagles team feels like there's going to be us against the world mentality. Hey, let me tell you about the Game Time app. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use promo code Farzy, and get $20 off your first purchase on the Game Time app. Don't forget, on the Game Time app, you can toggle the Game Time Picks feature, which allows you to filter out all the fluff and just get right to the best seats, the best possible prices, the lowest prices guaranteed on the Game Time app. You want to go to the game, the concert, comedy show, whatever the case might be, Game Time app has you covered. Don't forget to toggle the all-in price feature as well, which allows you to see exactly what you're spending before you check out. So there's no sticker shock of, oh, how do these $20 tickets become $45? What? All-in pricing on the Game Time app. Toggle that feature to know exactly what you're paying. Also, if you want to see a headliner in comedy or in music, you can download the Game Time app to your phone. You can buy tickets an hour after the event starts for mega huge Kajunga savings. You might miss the opening act, you might miss the middle, but you see that headliner that you love so much with the Game Time app. Download the Game Time app to your phone, create an account. Use promo code Farzy. And get $20 off your first purchase. How about PHL Sports Nation? Philadelphia Sports Nation. Enhance your Philadelphia sports fan experience across all social media and blogs. That's PHLSportsNation.com. Wait a minute. Did I say Lido Shuffle or Lido Shepherd? I hope I said Lido Shepherd. Now I have it in my head. Lido Shepherd. Anyway, let's get to the chat and see how wonderful people do it. PHL Sports Nation, Philadelphia Sports Nation, enhancing your Philadelphia sports fan experience across all social media and blogs. That's PHLSportsNation.com. Buddy Christ, hello. April, hello. High Domination LLC, what's happening? Ivan Sawyer, what's going on? Go Birds. Sean Gillespie, hello. Sean Gillespie, please, Eagles Analytics, let the beast out for the season and a new idea in the playoffs. If they make it, I still think they're going to make the playoffs. April, this will solidify that they make the playoffs. Know what I'm saying? What's going on there? Oh boy. Tate, good morning. Check the audio. Sounds like a can on a string. Ugh. I apologize, guys. I think we fixed it. Broncos do look pretty damn good. Good morning, Jason Alexander. Revenge for Saquon. Let's do it. Farzy locks in. I dig it. No time for chat yet. That's funny. Feedback, audio scratch. I appreciate you guys. T-Bro, hi. Hi, sound. Max Headroom. Wow, Mike. Phenomenal reference. Hey, I hope Barkley runs all over them, but I'm worried about Jalen, as am I. Ivan, I've been an Eagles fan for 25 years. I think they will lose and our situation gets worse. Ivan, I feel like you've said this before. Not about the Giants, something else. Talk amongst yourselves. Farzy is verklempt. Thank you for getting that reference. SNL, 50 years. By the way, side note, Dana Carvey, I've heard him do Joe Biden a million times because I listened to him do Fly on the Wall podcast. It's hilarious. I think Maya Rudolph is absolutely fantastic as Kamala Harris. Hilarious. And Dana Carvey as Joe Biden. Tell you what, another thing. Oh, my God. It's so funny. It's some of the best work I've seen in a long time in my life. I like you guys being my producers. Now good. Everyone's telling me I'm good. You guys are awesome. We're here about Sunday. Sexy Dexy from the broadcast. It's annoying. Ugh. Empire Records. Damn the man. Roseman got the Eagles a ton of flowers, too. Oh, so you need the manure. Oh, wine Niners, wine. I love the reference, but I also hate it. I love that it's true. Roseman got a ton of flowers for the Eagles, so you need the manure. Soriani. Oh, that's a song. Oh, because for my son, we play Lido Shuffle. Because his name's Leo. Leo Shuffle. Yeah. And now that song's always in my head. Shane Gillis is the best Trump. I agree. Shane Gillis does a phenomenal Trump. Beautiful dogs. That's such a great special. Thanks, everybody in the chat. You guys are wonderful, as per usual. Let's get to the morning rush brought to you by Sky Motorcars, SkyMotorcars.com. Oh, God. Ladies and gentlemen, the Philadelphia Flyers dropped their third straight last night to the Kraken. 6-4. They allowed a 4-goal second period. You're not going to win many games if you allow a 4-goal period in any of them. Scott Lawton had 2 goals last night. I saw his first one. It gave gave the Flyers a 1-0 lead. Nice little wraparound. I think he got the rebound and then wrapped it around and scored a goal. They scored 2 goals in that first period, as a matter of fact. Both were by Scott Lawton. That's how that one worked. So, yeah, Cam York and Jamie Drysdale had the other ones there. So that's how that one worked. Also, 76ers-wise, they wrap up their preseason play tonight against the Orlando Magic in Orlando. I don't expect anyone to play. Jared McCain resting, recovering from signs of a concussion, but everything else seems to be okay. I'll be reevaluated. So look forward to that. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, everyone. My name is Mark Farzetta. This is the Farzy Show presented by... Oh, final score for the game. How dare I? Philadelphia Eagles win this game 27-24. If I believed in the coaching, I would believe that the Eagles would win this game 41-17. But I don't believe in the coaching. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. My name is Mark Farzetta. Subscribe to the Farzy Show. Like and subscribe to the Farzy Show YouTube channel. Like and subscribe to Jacob Media's YouTube channel. Like and subscribe to the Seth Joyner Show YouTube channel. And like and subscribe to Locked On Sports Philadelphia. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Back with you guys Sunday on the Seth Joyner Show YouTube channel for Eagles pre and post with Derek Gunn, Seth Joyner, and yours truly. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Coming up, I'll be on Fox 29 at 7:45. See you guys Sunday. Bye.